Good on ya, everyone. Top of the day to you is another way to say it. I'm just so proud of each one of you as a soul rebel with a cause, right? And also that you are, soulfully determined, soulfully. That means you're guided by a higher force. And you do your best to deal with the stuff that we've come here to, kind of transform or morph into higher vibrations and energies, things like that. Lifetimes worth of stuff. It's called karma. It's called karma, my dears. And if something's not going quite right, it's just still karma being worked out. So we can kind of meet and greet that as much as possible. And that's what we do here with this just amazing truth that we listen to every Tuesday and we have for so long. But I'm noticing that we're going to be coming up to chapter 17. There's only 18 chapters in the whole Gita. So we'll take our time with it. We'll just be in the now. How's that? Narayan, welcome as always. Mary and Alex, welcome as always. Lisa and Jim, welcome as always. Wow, we have our main folks here. Not to mention that the others aren't the main ones; they're just not on the line yet. and Brookie, so grateful that you all are here because I think it's like we're on a path of following the gingerbread crumbs. We really are. When you some of you come to the meditation, it doesn't matter if you do or don't, but there's always YouTubes of them. But everything are these crumbs. Like yesterday's daily download of divinity, I keep calling it that, but also the sacred soul meditation. We talked about forgiveness, that there's no love without forgiveness. And we put ourselves on a little stage and we saw ourselves and we forgave ourselves for being something that we didn't wasn't in our game plan for ourselves, right? And so we forgave ourselves. And I think I titled it, I Forgive You, I Love You, and I Set You Free. That, my dears, is a huge gingerbread crumb. That is a huge thing. And we'll tap on into that as we look at these not so ennobling qualities of the soul, but the ones that lead us into challenges and into actually the good news of it, the bright side of it is that we use divine discrimination versus just our own stuff, made up stuff that just doesn't necessarily serve this immortal nature of ours, right? And so we're going to look at, and we did last week, those verses 7 to 15 or to 18. We went through them rather quickly, but I did not read Yogananda's commentary to them. So we're going to start there on page 975 if you have your books open, and and see what the guru says. It's so apropos. We're right dialed into today's climb and time. We really are. That everything is just popping open. And it might see that it's all popping open to the not so good, to the negative, but no, it's not. Maybe it's both at the same time because it's a lila play, a dance of the good and the bad that we're involved in this duality dream delusion planet, right? Anyway, that's a lot to say before we even pray. But let's just close our eyes for a moment, my dears, and feel how the magnificence of this moment, the magnificence of having soul friends like each other, and this new day that's dawning, and this incredible, powerful super moon. Wow! Don't know if it's today or tomorrow, but it's coming soon. It's coming soon in a consciousness near you. The super moon. I'll talk about it in our meditation coming up after the Gita. All right. But for now, oh Lord, bless us. Bless us with your divine charm. Bless us with your divine mercy. Bless us with everything beautiful, noble, and true that just cuts into these karmic issues that we still need to address and to not suppress, but to address them with all this divine discrimination, and know that in each one of these karmic things that we still have to work out, that this is the lifetime to do it. This is the one. This is the one we've been waiting for and been preparing for, this incarnation. So this is very timely, my dears, incredibly timely this morning. So we thank you, Lord, for your keeping us on track, keeping us on the path. You know, I have made thee pole star of my life. Though my stars are gone and my sea is gone and my stars are gone, still I see the path through thy mercy. Though my stars are gone, still I see the path through thy mercy. You are my pole star. So we thank you. We thank you that we are in this vibration together this morning. And so it is. Amen. You want to hear Yogananda's words to cap those verses 7 to 18 from last week? You want to hear them? Huh? All they're going to do is just reiterate what you already are feeling and sensing and intuiting and seeing in this 3D HD world that we live in. It's just going to reaffirm everything you already know about this dark side of the coin. The deeply deluded, egocentric individual. Now put that person called you up on a stage right now and do what we did at the meditation yesterday. I forgive you. I love you. I set you free. As we listen to these words, because we all still are entrapped. We all are still entrapped in our karma. Yes, we are. And if we're not careful, we're still making karma. The deeply deluded, egocentric individual. No, I forgive myself. I've always did that. Yes, every morning would forgive myself for all the crazy, stupid stuff I would be thinking about, or even actions that I would maybe get involved in during the day. I'd forgive myself in advance. All right. So I think that's one of the most key things now, is that we need to love ourselves. We need to not see ourselves as karmic ridden, still in the trenches, people or souls, however you want to look at it. That we are finding the light. We are discovering this doorway. Door my heart open wide I keep for thee. Wilt thou come? Wilt thou come? Night and day, I look for thee, night and day. So the deeply deluded, egocentric individual, which we all still have those proclivities, we should say, addicted to our false convictions and our self-serving ambitions, establishes his and her colossal ego. We didn't come in here in this life to establish. Thank God. Thank you, Master. Thank you, Yogananda Ji, for keeping us out of the real tipsy-turvy, right? Crazy, colossal ego building. So our self-convictions, our false convictions, our self-serving ambitions establishes our colossal ego as an idol. Did you have idols when you were growing up? Superstars, singers, whatever, actors, sports stars, whatever. But we have, if we're not careful, colossal ego as an idol on the altar of lust for power, possession, and sensual gratification. I forgive you. I love you. I set you free. Those are the three beautiful things now for the rest of our days to be affirming over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I forgive you. I love you. I set you free. Thus, once we have those false idols going on, thus does he and she become wholly engaged in self-worship, deifying herself, himself. His and her myopic vision has no scope for perception of God and truth. It just a blackout. It's a blackout. This delusion can just black us out, and we don't see the light. We don't feel the light. We're trapped, and that's what we kind of talked about the other day, and also a meditation that we had. The gingerbread crumbs all will show that we are on a track, but it's the track to the divine discrimination, that we use our discrimination now to wake up and to forgive, love, and set free ourselves. Our myopic vision, when we're in the delusion, though, my dears, has no scope for perception of God and truth. Though he and she ornament her ego shrine with hypocritical portrayals of righteousness and ostentatious displays of charity, his and her misdeeds, his greed, and his quickness to anger at any frustrated wish, we just blow up, right? We blow it out of the reality sphere and into the illusion sphere. Ostentatious displays of charity is his and her misdeeds and greed, and his quickness to anger at any frustrated wish reveal his and her would-be hidden motivations, but not anymore. We can't hide. We can't hide and we can't run. Does that feel like that's correct for you? We can't hide, we can't run. We can only deal with ourselves and make sure that the only thing that really, really matters is that we forgive this side of us that is the tamas and sometimes the selfish rajas, and start to celebrate that we have probably more than those things. We have these sattvic times, these moments, these practices, these meditations. This practicing of the presence of God. We have those. Remember that one stream we had about only recall the good memories? Only recall the good memories. That's the true use of our memories, says Paramahansa Yogananda. Yeah. So that leads us to verses 19 to 20. So that's like 10 verses, another batch of verses coming up, 19 to 20. Oh, that's not too bad. 19 to 20. It's just two verses coming up here, my dears, that we're going to address today, okay? But they really have a meaning that is perfectly a gingerbread crumb that we need to gobble up this morning. We need to say, this is exactly what I need this morning, all right? So Yogananda, this is verse 19. He says, these cruel and hating perpetrators of evil, worst among men and women, I hurl again and again into demonic wombs in the spheres of transmigration. Really? Wow. Could this be a kind of one of those nightmare shows? These cruel and hating perpetrators of evil, worst among men, And remember, that's the tamas. That's the dark side, my dears. It's going to do that. It's its job. It hurls again and again into, or we do if we go that route. We're hurled again and again into demonic wombs in the spheres of transmigration. And verse 20 is entering the state of the existence of the Asuras. Asuras, A-S-U-R-A-S, are not the good guys, all right? They're the ones, they're the wicked ones, they're the evil ones. Entering the state of existence of the Asuras. And I'll tell you, one thing you don't want to do is to get into that bad company of that evil energy, of that dark energy at all costs, whatever, even the littlest bit, that if we have these proclivities still as karmic things, right? And they just don't seem to go away, because I don't think we've taken this seriously about making sure that we forgive ourselves on a daily basis, that we forgive ourselves on a breath by breath moment, and make sure that we're sending love into ourselves and setting ourselves free, right? Regardless of the influences that are still influencing us, regardless of that. So entering the state of the existence of Asuras, deluded birth after birth? What? Failing to attain me, they thus descend to the very lowest depths. All right? And let me just read to you something, and I might read it as well. I might read it as well in the meditation that we have, and it wouldn't hurt to hear it twice. But this is from Romance, Divine Romance, one of Yogananda's books. All right. But this is so worth a reread if you have forgotten this particular thing that he talks about. It says it all. It says it all about our title, Divine Discrimination. Okay? So close your eyes, everybody. Your heart is already open. Your mind is clear. This is top of the day to us, right? Good on you, my dears. This is what we've been waiting for, is this kind of wisdom. This is what Yogananda says. When we wake up in the morning, we find that we are the same people we were before we went to bed. Similarly, when we and our loved ones wake up in the astral world after death, we are exactly the same. We are exactly the same, man. You ready to get out of this pickle? Better ride on your motorcycle, right? If we got to get out of this pickle of making karma and not diminishing the karma through right action, through right thought, through right meditation, through right living, right? Through divine discrimination. So we're the same people when we wake up in the morning, and we're the same when we wake up on the other side in the astral world after death. We are exactly the same, only that in general, we can look younger and be free of disease. Those are two perks. Look younger and be free of disease. All right? But other than that, we've got the same issues on the other side. So we don't become angels simply by dying, Yogananda says. If we are angels now, we will also be in the afterlife. So we take care of business now. We take care of the fact that we're not feeling so good, that we still have these, foibles, whatever you want to say they can be, whatever they might be, these old habits, right? These old tendencies that we have got to address those now, because we don't become angels simply by dying. If we are angels now, we will also be in the afterlife. So this is why this daily forgiveness. I forgive you. I love you. I set you free. This positive self-talk is nothing more powerful than a positive self-image, because your image is the divine. Your image is the light. Your image is the happiness, right? If we have a dark and negative personality, after death, we will be the same. Just as there are beautiful landscapes in this world, the same happens in the other world. Depending on how you've lived on earth, whether it was a good and pure life or bad and ugly, you'll go to the better or darker region in the astral world. Jesus spoke to these different regions when he said, "In my Father's house are many mansions." So Yogananda goes on, this is worth having in our brains today, my dears, and in our hearts today. The astral planes have several atmospheres or vibrations. And every soul that arrives there, coming from earth, is attracted to the atmosphere that is in greater harmony with its individual vibration. So we're going to attract exactly the atmosphere, the energetics that is in greater harmony with our individual vibration. Just as fish live in water, worms beneath the ground, humans on the surface, and birds in the air, so do souls in the astral world live on the sphere that is best suited for their vibration. The more noble and spiritual a person is on earth, the higher the sphere to which he and she will be drawn, and the greater will be her freedom, joy, and experience of beauty. So what does that say to each of you? That right now, just look at yourself on this little stage, this person called you, and I forgive you. I love you. I set you free. There's no better affirmation, I don't think, for where we are at as a tribe, where we are at as a civilization, if that's still a possibility, right? And where we are at as individuals. So I'm thinking that if we can be this forgiving today and loving today, self-loving today, and free, knowing that we have divine discrimination. This is that two words, divine discrimination, is the key, is the antidote to everything that we're going through, my dears. So as long as we are addressing the issue today, the issue of those influences that still influence us, that bring us down, that is of a lower vibration, we have a tool now. We have a beautiful, beautiful, powerful tool to completely change things around. And that's what this supermoon's about coming up. Yeah, you'll hear about it in the meditation this morning. So on star planets, Yogananda goes on to state, on star planets, beings do not depend on air or electricity to exist. They feed on multicolored rays of light. That's the food. That's the menu on those star planets. That we don't need air to breathe, that we feed on multicolored rays of light. There is more freedom in the astral world than in the physical world. There are no bones to be broken, for there are no solids. Everything is made of light rays, and everything is driven by the power of thought. In the thought by my love brought, in the thought by my love brought. So love brings the right thoughts. Remember that, Jen? Thou art my life, thou art my love, thou art the sweetness which I do see. In the thought by my love brought, in the thought by my love brought, I taste thy name, so sweet, so sweet. Devotee knows how sweet you are. Devotee knows how sweet you are. She knows whom you let know. She knows whom you let know. Yeah. Devotee knows how sweet you are. In the thought by my love brought. So everything is made of light rays, and everything is driven by the power of thought in these higher realms. Wow. And it goes, and it's still in play here. We're just not aware of it, right? We still have some purification to be done in our karmic situations. So when the souls in the astral want to make a garden, you just have to want it. Now, if you want to be free, all you got to do is want it, right? Focus on it. Do the right action around it. Make that your vision, your heart vision for this lifetime. When the souls in the astral want to make a garden, you just have to want it. That the garden becomes a reality and it appears and stays as long as you want. When the soul wants the garden to disappear, it leaves. All right. So I just wanted to bring that perspective in before we go into Master's commentary on these verses that I just read. Verse 19, the cruel and hating perpetrators of evil, worst among men and women, I hurl again and again into demonic wombs in the spheres of transmigration. Now, we may not be evil doers or even consider ourselves as evil, but there's still some tendencies that with relative, significance within us that need to be addressed, my dears. This is the whole purpose of why the 5D, the higher age consciousness, is transforming our world as we speak, because it's addressing these issues almost for us. If we don't see our blind spots, we're going to we're seeing them more and more in the outer thing, the outer show, and the government even, right? The government. I saw a little clip from Robert Redford, and I think it was Hoffman, Dustin Hoffman. I think that was his name. And they were doing that thing on Nixon, that movie on Nixon. Like, oh my God, that was really kind of spooky. Could that really happen? And this and that. And now look at us. It's gone beyond reasoning, right? It's gone beyond, humanness, actually. And then entering the state of existence of the Assurus, deluded birth after birth, failing to attain me, we thus descend into the very lowest depths. And we all have, and we all will still go to the lowest depths. But that's the place to forgive yourself immediately. Immediately. And then follow it up with I love you. And then follow it up with I set you free. I'm telling you, if there have been any gingerbread crumbs that we have left in all these meditations and Gita streams, that is the mantra of mantras, my dears. Okay? I'm just saying it from my own perspective. It works. It works magic, because all of a sudden you're freed up. You're freed up. There's no more past. There's no worry about the future. You freed yourself up by that one mantra. I forgive you. I love you. I set you free. All right. So God is not a vengeful judge. So Yogananda is going to say, hey, don't worry about those verses so much. God is not a vengeful judge who cast into everlasting hell those who transgress his commandments. But, this is a big but, he has set forth his karmic law. We can't talk about the law of cause and effect enough. my dears. Because part of why the world is the way it is because of all of our entitlements, and we've just it's been a luxury, we think, to think what we want to think, to do what we want to do, to be mad if we want to be mad, to criticize and judge if we want to do that. We've made that a luxury to do that, but all that even leads to what the diminishing returns are of that, right? Yeah. So this law of cause and effect governing human action is a teaching mechanism. Yogananda goes on to say it's a teaching mechanism, my dears. All this delusion is a teaching mechanism to prevent incarnate souls like you and me, incarnate souls. You still following? To prevent incarnate souls from being caught forever in the outward pull of delusion. Wow. Like God forgets us, and there we are floating in the lowest depths of consciousness, right? But he can never forget us because he is us, right? So the God-given power that works with this law for the evolutionary upliftment of man and woman, the God-given power, like the guru-given power, by pranayama, wake her with all thy might. Why, O mind, wanderest thou? Go in thine inner home. Why, O mind, wanderest thou? Go in thine inner home. On the left, Ida. On the right, Pingala. On the left, Ida. On the right, Pingala. In the middle, the tameless Sushumna sees. Seize her with all thy might. Guru-given power by pranayam liveth unconscious in the coccyx region. Guru-given power by pranayam wake her with all thy might. The God-given power, the divine discrimination, the soul determination that works with this law for the evolutionary upliftment of man and woman is the discriminative free choice unique to the human species. We are unique, my dears. We are unique to the human species. But misuse of this endowment diminishes the influence of this saving inner voice of guidance. That's by you having this affirmation that I forgive you, I love you, and I set you free, is your inner voice of guidance, of divine discrimination. That's your inner voice of guidance. Because if you don't feel loved if we don't forgive. All right? Without divine discrimination, Yogananda says, man becomes beast-style, governed by base instincts and noxious habits. In such persons, the evil tamasic propensities obscure the spiritual sattvic qualities. So the dark side kind of obscures the light. Excuse me. The sattvic qualities and degrade the activating materialistic rajasic traits. So the rajas can be good or bad. So it even degrades that, so it's only bad, right? It degrades the activating materialistic rajasic traits where our outer actions are not in tune or not in line. That's why this new moon is about misalignment. It's going to help all those of us who are misaligned. And all of us who are out of sort, who all of us are unsure, insecure. This moon is going to give us a big, big boost, my dears. That's why it's unlike any of the super moons that we've had in this year, 2025. Yeah. Right in time, huh? Right in the nick of time, don't you think? So the evil tamasic propensities obscure the spiritual sattvic qualities and degrade the activating materialistic rajasic traits. Thence, according to the divine ordinance of cause of karma. See, God isn't making this so that we get punished because we're not following his laws. No, he's given us the, the soul freedom, the free choice to make our own call. Such is his love. He's not forcing us to love him. He's not forcing us in anything. We just got to find out and go through the go through the drills in this boot camp that we're in on planet Earth, my dears. We got to listen to the ones that are guiding us through the boot camp, right? So, in such persons, the evil tamasic propensities obscure the spiritual sattvic qualities and degrade the activating materialistic rajasic traits. Thence, according to the divine ordinance of karma, these worst among men and women, the worst, the worst, attract the worst. You don't think God? Why did God go after that black sheep and all the rest of the sheep were the white sheep? I guess he went after the black sheep, right? And that's what we're talking about. There is God redeems every soul, no matter what truth or consequences, whatever is our doings or non-doings, our predicaments, our mindsets. God redeems every soul. And this is a perfect sentence. Thence, according to the divine ordinance of karma, even the worst of us attract in our next incarnation, my dears. An inauspicious birth and environment commiserate with their indulgence in profligate habits and behavior. So it's up to us, right? Even though we have a an out of sorts, out of alignment life, that we still have a shot in our next incarnation. And in this case, it's if we're still kind of playing with the dark side, that we will have an inauspicious birth and environment commensurate with the indulgence in whatever habits and behaviors we had. All right. So, as Yogananda will now say, as proper use of the privilege of free choice, as proper use of the privilege of free choice, I can forgive myself today. Done. The past is over. The future is yet to come. I am free. I set myself free. I love myself. I forgive myself unconditionally, unconditionally, so that we really know we have a privilege of free choice, my dears, that can just take the sting out of earth life, that can take the drudgery out of earth life, that can take the fear out of earth life. Bang, just like that in one mantra. You can see I'm big on this mantra, right? That we had yesterday from good old Louise Hay, working on from the other side, brought us that beautiful guided visualization. Wow. So we could have a proper use of the privilege of free choice, serves to lodge the incarnating human in a divinely endowed body and heavenly environment. So the proper use of the privilege of free choice. I forgive you. I love you. I set you free. That's a free choice right there. That's probably one of the most powerful you could ever come up with. If you come up with another one more powerful, let me know. A proper use of the privilege of free choice. The proper use of the privilege of free choice serves to lodge the incarnating human in a divinely endowed body. Next time you're lodged in a divinely endowed body and heavenly environment. So misuse, though, of this freedom of will causes rebirth in demonic wombs, states of hellish existence on earth, or any given day can be a hellish situation that we create because we forgot the privilege of free choice. We forgot to forgive. Humans are meant to mess up so that we can understand this law of karma and get out of our particular situation with still karmic issues to deal with. It is made in the shade for us to have divine discrimination. And if we are in a hole that we dug, that we're going to get ourselves out of that hole. All right? Through the proper use of that choice, of that free choice. So if we don't, though, heed these kinds of things and we still kind of dilly-dally, right? States of hellish existence on earth or in other regions of the universe characterized by suffering and violence. I'm pretty sure that we don't want to come near that, right? Well, don't mess with it then. Don't mess with it. Or in the dark astral worlds of fearsome beings and nightmares. No, that's all happening, right? In the inner world. The karmic fate of the Asuras, demonic mentalities, is to, you know what they want? Those Asuras, those bad guys? That we remain entrapped in darkest delusion, birth after birth. Wow. You can't make this stuff up. If this wasn't Yogananda talking, I wouldn't be reading it. Birth after birth, if they do not rouse themselves from ignorance, rouse themselves. So there it is. I forgive myself is a fastest way to rouse yourself. I love you is another way. And to be free to use the right, proper use of free choice, free to make that call because it's the right thing to do. Birth after birth, if we do not rouse ourselves from ignorance by efforts at right determination and action, soul determination and action. So this is why this is so important. Thank you for coming on. Thanks for being my soul friend, my dears. It means everything. Yeah, honestly, truly. Thus may they descend to the farthest possible depths. If we don't rouse ourselves, okay? We don't take care of shop now. Look at the world. Look at the world. Look at it. Huh? It's a perfect mirror. It's a perfect reminder as well. Right? So thus may they descend, so we can rouse ourselves from ignorance by efforts at right determined action. Thus may they descend to the farthest possible depths, incarnating for a time, even in an animal body or other medium, as may be the cause in some insane persons who have lost all power of reason, or in some astral bestial form. Such instruments have no power of free choice. See, when we're on the dark side, when we're playing with the dark side, we have no power of free choice and therefore accrue no. But listen to this. This is God's mercy. So even if we have lost all power of reason, or we're in some bestial form, there's no karmic consequences for our actions. Look at how merciful God is. Such an existence is the bottommost saving grace for the declining being. That's why we have to hit bottom, because that's where we learn the most. That's where we learn to forgive and to love and to set ourselves free, my dears. Once we've hit the bottommost, and Yogananda says it's saving grace, the bottommost is saving grace for the declining being, working out past karma without the possibility of accruing further entanglement. The descended being will then be given in his next life a new and better opportunity to redeem herself. Better opportunity. With God, everything is better. It's just learning, it's just a school, right? And there's just infinite love and forgiveness and compassion, right? And we have as many tries as we need, all right? So, in our next life, a new and better opportunity to redeem ourselves. And coming up in the next verses, we'll see that every soul, that Yogananda said, every soul is redeemed. Every soul is redeemed. So we'll pick that up for next time. I'm even going to write it down. Every soul. Oh, I already did. I already did on my page. All right, from book season. I really needed today's lesson. Yeah, Brookie. I know we all do. This is why we're here. Our greatest need is what we're doing, our coming together, because we have a tribe. We built a tribe. We're building it courageously, fearlessly, and at times we're not so interested in it, because that's the ups and downs of life. But we are doing it. So thank you so much for coming on to Gita this morning, my dears. And hopefully you can hear at least this next gingerbread crumb sacred soul meditation. Remind to everyone, every time I'm a puddle. I know, I know. Me too. Me too. Right? We're all puddles. We're puddles in a huddle of divine mercy and divine love and divine friendship, my dears. So, yes, I agree. We're a puddle. All of us are a puddle. It's perfect, perfect explanation. All right, my dears, let's get ready for the meditation. Thank you for coming online. I can't tell you how precious it is. I keep saying that, but I will always say it, and I mean it every single time, even more than the time before. All right, Narayan G, Mary and Hap, Alex, Brookie, Lisa, and Jim. Toodles with oodles of love. See you very soon. I'll see you in that mantra. I forgive you. I love you. I set you free. And that is that. That's the top of the day. That's a good on you day right there. Aho.